The stupidity of the U.S. fucking country. 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 Fucking country. Fucking country. Fucking country. Fucking country. Fucking country. The stupidity of the U.S., okay? I know this is just like...
Chantel's disgust with the country that is providing her with an easy and handsome income will begin in about a minute. During that time, please enjoy the music and consider subscribing. Thanks.
Chantel, she carries the weight of the world on her shoulders. Chantel, she carries the weight. Chantel, she carries the weight of the world on her shoulders. Chantel, 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 Chantel,
You know what I mean? Fucking country. Do you know what I mean? Fucking country. You know what I mean? Fucking country. You know what I'm saying? Fucking country. You know what I'm saying? Fucking country. You know what I'm saying? Fucking country. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The stupidity. The stupidity. The stupidity. The stupidity. The stupidity of the U.S., okay?
Welcome! Sometimes these introductions are a little long, and sometimes they're a little short, and this one's going to be a little bit short. I'm just saying, do me a favor. Please watch this one all the way to the end, because it's got a strong ending that won't make any sense if you don't watch all the rest of it. So you kind of got to commit to this. If you're going to do this, do it for the whole thing. That'd be really appreciated. Do me that favor, just that one little favor. And there's the normal thing, the kind of favor I always ask. That, it kind of involves the title screen, and I want to keep it fresh. So, this is sort of like already established. Would you please stop looking at it? So, when did Chantel do this? Why did she do this? And why did it disappear so fast? I'll get to all that. First, I want to thank the one that I got this footage from. That's my buddy Limoni. There he is. There'll be a link in the description. All right, back to this. Chantel published this in the evening of September 12th, 2021, which was the day after the 20th anniversary of September 11th, 2001, the attacks on the World Trade Center, New York City, United States of America. On that day, Chantel, who exploits everything, she put a graphic up there pretending to care, and she got called on it real quick by all the folks that remembered that Chantel was saying on her channel one time, not with a community post, she said it with a video too, that she was watching the footage of the folks in the World Trade Center jumping to their deaths, and she found it to be funny. And in case you didn't know, the reason why they did that is because the towers were on fire, and the help wasn't coming fast enough, and they had to decide, you want to get burned to death, or jump to your death. And so that is so tragic, I don't even want to talk about it. And Chantel was making fun of it. And so folks remembered what she said, and they called her on it. There is the community post that she made after everybody called her on it. And what it says is, no, I never laughed at 9/11 victims. Now, please have a nice day and stop being miserable idiots. Can you imagine she said that? On the 20th anniversary of September 11th, she said, have a nice day and stop being miserable idiots. Folks are feeling hurt over what happened. And Chantel belittles everything, says, go have a nice day and quit being miserable idiots. That was her first reply. She denied it, and she insulted everybody with what she wrote in the community post there. Now, we know that Chantel is a liar. And so first, she denied it. and said, no, I never laughed at 9/11 victims. Now have a nice day and quit being miserable, idiots. So then, after she knew she got nailed with it, she says, quote, I don't remember making any jokes, but I did have a dark sense of humor in the past. If I did do that, I am very disgusted in myself, and my views have changed in the past 15 years, and would never do that now. My heart goes out to the victims. XO. Close quote. She says that's a dark sense of humor? That's just evil. And it wasn't no 15 years ago, it was about 3 years ago. And she says, if I did do that, I'm very disgusted in myself and my views have changed. Do you know what's missing here? I am very sorry for saying that. Chantel is an evil person. You can refer to her as sick, too, if you like. I just say evil. She enjoys something like this. She laughs at something like this. Like, she was laughing and eating pizza and having a good old time hours after her grandmother passed away. She's just evil. And so she said this on September 11th, 2021. This month. And so she got called on it. And then she had to say, well, you know, there's her excuse. And she refuses to say sorry. That's why she went ahead and attacked the USA the very next day. Because she didn't like to be called on it. Because she really doesn't care. And she was only using the anniversary to make herself look good. Yet, unfortunately for Chantel, the rest of us have got memories. And we remember what she did. And called her on it. And she refused to apologize for what she did. And that makes the toddler angry. Now, we have an angry toddler here. We have a very angry Chantal. And she needs to get back and have revenge on all those people that called her on exploiting the 20th anniversary of September 11th. And called her on laughing at the people jumping from the towers. And Chantal saying, oh, well, I had a dark sense of history back then. And my heart goes out to all the victims. Of course it doesn't. Because she thinks it's funny. And she didn't apologize for it. So now she's got to get back at everybody. That's why she did it. And after she did it, she realized, after enjoying the satisfaction of tearing everybody to fuck off, she had to take it down before it got too many complaints and she loses her channel over it. Because this goes beyond being not advertiser friendly. This is a unwarranted and venomous attack on the United States of America, which is also the country that YouTube is from. And without YouTube, don't worry, I'm not going to be talking through this whole thing. I got the footage coming. Without YouTube, this angry toddler doesn't get to have a Canadian income because she is otherwise unemployable for anything. She can't work with people. She can't work with the boss. She can't please a client on an individual basis. So she went and talked to Nader. And Nader gave her a bunch of horseshit about the United States. And Chantel agrees with it. And they both enjoy it. And then Chantel's got to get back at the United States of America. Because some of the people called her on laughing at the folks jumping from the towers. That's why she did it. That's why she did it on September 12th. And after she enjoyed getting her revenge on those people, she took it down. So she gets to have her cake and eat it too. And now we're going to get to her disgusting comments. And I'm going to react to them properly.
Like it's just situations that make you go like, I was talking about this with somebody.
What person could that be, Chantel? Could it be Nader? The one that you told us sold you illegal hard drugs. And he's from Egypt. And he doesn't like the United States of America. And you don't like it either. So after you had to take some criticism from people after you got called on laughing at people jumping from the towers, Nader gave you a little bit of data to enjoy and share. And so now you're going to go ahead and share it because this is a little bit out of your area of expertise. Even though you're horrible to folks all the time, it's politics, and you usually stay away from politics, except to say that you just hate the United States of America. This time you're going to get real specific. You're going to zero in on 9/11. What do you got to say, Chantel?
The stupidity of the U.S., okay? I know this is just like... to like... it's like the same... like, it's a situation like that where it's like... such a situation that...
Barely able to talk. Correct, Chantel? That is what you get when you're sucking down edibles and THC vape and THC chocolates and actually smoking with the joint, the THC. It gets you stupid, huh? It gets you stupid. Maybe you should lay off a little bit and you might be able to speak.
Makes you go, what the fuck? Like, whenever you think about it. U.S. invades countries for potentially having nuclear weapons.
Countries, plural, for having nuclear weapons. We're talking about Iraq. This is what you're talking about. You're talking about Iraq. That's one country. Get the story straight, you pothead.
And they're the only fucking country that have used nuclear weapons. So, like...
It is not that simple. It only seems that simple when complicated subjects are run through the mind that has been simplified with far too much THC, with a mind that was already simple to begin with. The use of nuclear weapons upon Japan was undertaken to end World War II and to end further bloodshed. You cannot today look back and joke at it. It's like, oh, well, they're the only ones that ever used them. Chantel is going to come up with an analogy involving burgers. Like, that's like saying, I'm having a burger and you can't have a burger. And she talks about stupidity. Madge, you are soaking in it.
That's like eating a burger and telling somebody, don't eat burgers, you shouldn't eat burgers.
Now, there's an old saying. And I'll just let you folks kind of recall from your own memories what old saying this might be. You got your best guess there? Well, here's the old saying. Children should be seen and not heard. Now, that was back in the day. In our modern times, today, you know, we don't say that. Children got something to say, you should listen to them. And, you know, that's right. You know, you don't know if they, you know, something's happening. They want to tell you about it, you know. So it's like, yeah, we kind of set that aside. It's like, if a child's got something to say, you should listen, right? You can't say something to children, you know, you can't talk just because, you know, you're children, right? However, at a moment like this, the old saying is true. Children should be seen and not heard. And an angry toddler should be seen and not heard on this. Chantel should really go back to stuffing her face with food and talking about poo-poos and not talking about politics and war and things like that. We'll carry on with this.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, come here, Sam. Come here, Sam. It's so weird when you think about stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like so weird. I don't know. I was thinking of that. I'm just like, you're gonna like go after... You know what I mean? Anyway. That's what I was just thinking about when I was like, mass destruction.
That is where the conversation has gone. For the past minute, Chantel hasn't said anything except for, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? And then one of her idiot subscribers says, weapons of mass destruction. And she thinks it's funny. An idiot leading idiots. That's where the conversation is.
Yeah. Wait, you're going after countries for potentially having weapons of mass destruction? For making them, but so you're the only country in the entire world that can have weapons, and not only that,
Please remember that Chantal is saying this on September 12th, 2021, the day after the 20th anniversary of the September 11 attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. She did not like getting called on her laughing about the victims. And she refused to apologize. And so now she's saying that the United States deserved those attacks. And she's saying that the United States had no right to try to hunt down who they believed were responsible for them. And she's mixing everything up because she's a stupid pothead. She's mixing Japan with Iraq. If she thinks it's wrong for one country to invade another, then she thinks that all countries are the same, and that bad countries don't try to take over other countries. And if she wants to do a time warp, I wish she would do a time warp back to the time of Saddam Hussein, and see how much the traffic would allow for her to go to that country, and insist on beezing all day long, and doing drugs, and going to their hospitals and say, I've been eating fast food all day long, and now my fupa is acting up. Are you going to treat my fupa? And I just started doing cocaine. My heart is racing so much, I think I just might croak right here. Could you please spend $1,500 in putting me through the machines and checking on me, please? They let her die in the street. She's got a problem with the United States of America? She is ignoring that the United States of America and YouTube and the opportunity that it provides puts the food into her mouth, the roof over her head, the gasoline in her car, the money in her purse to do these hauls, the insurance money, everything that she enjoys with no work. It's all an opportunity that comes to the United States of America. And you guys got to stay with this video to the end of it, because I'm going to give you a history lesson about Japan at the end. That is what she is speaking against. And that's why she deleted it after she enjoyed getting even with everybody. She gave everybody the finger. She gave the United States of America the finger. And after she satisfied herself, she took it down. And we're reacting to it right here.
Only one who used them. Like, people in, like, Japan are still suffering from the after effects. People couldn't, like, what was it, like 18 years? You couldn't use soil? You couldn't plant anything?
World War II ended on September 2nd, 1945. And that was 39 years before your vile ass was born. And there was a lot of suffering provided for people all over the world. And there was a whole heck of a lot more than just some contaminated soil over a bomb site. You ignorant stoner.
And you're gonna, like, go after people for human rights?
What are you talking about? Human rights? It was World War II. Chantal is forgetting about a little something that happened a few years earlier. Pearl Harbor. Do you see what she's doing here? You know, it's like bad feelings all around. And when it comes to Iraq and Saddam Hussein, the data they had available had a lot of links to him. Was it a perfect mission? No. What I can tell you is that Saddam Hussein was not worth a dang to begin with. No loss to take that piece of garbage out, really. Now, when she talks about human rights, she starts talking about the United States of America again. So I'm going to run that tiny little snippet again to carry on with.
And you're gonna, like, go after people for human rights when you're the biggest fucking human rights violator?
So did we all hear that properly? Chantal Marie Olive Sorrell of Canada has just said that the United States of America is the biggest fucking human rights violator. Can you believe it? This creature is unemployable in her Canada to have any kind of job. She cannot take orders from a boss for anything. She cannot work with people. She cannot please clients on an individual basis. She can't even please her own Beeson members. And she sits around getting lucky off of the YouTube opportunity provided for her to have a handsome income of thousands of dollars every month to do no work. This is not work. This is just being a revolting degenerate. And she has said of YouTube, if they ever took her down for self-abuse, she would sue them for violating her rights. She doesn't even understand YouTube is a privilege. It's not a right. In Canada, she's got the right to speak her piece. Sure she do. YouTube is a partnership program. YouTube allows you to store enormous amounts of data on their systems for no charge. And if you want to go monetization, YouTube lets you keep 70%. They only take 30%. Partnership, they should say 50-50. Chantel doesn't appreciate any of this. And she says that the United States of America is the worst fucking human rights violator. Just stay with me, folks, okay? This will be worth it if you watch it to the end, okay? Alright? I promise you that.
Like one of them, but because you cover it nicely, you know? Anyways, I'm just like really I'm really buzzed out on Pineapple Express. But it's just like little things like that. Using our videos for reactions is fair use to an extent, but in the way reaction channels are using it to harass and spread false info is against YouTube's terms. Exactly, Amberlynn.
Those are two words that no smart person would want to put together in that order. Exactly, Amberlynn. We remember that Chantel went after Amberlynn Reed for using a little electric sit-down scooter in Walmart, okay? And that's just a fake friendship of convenience between the two of them. So that neither one of them has got to clean up a whole bunch of flame comments in their sections for the videos, okay? This is just a housekeeping item between the two of them. They are not friends. You're never going to have Chantel on Amberlynn's channel. Amberlynn's not going to be on Chantel's channel, okay? There's a reason for that, because they're not really friends. And what Amberlynn just said there is that when you make a reaction and you criticize somebody, it's the same thing as harassing them. As we know, Amberlynn Reed is an exploiter of her own self-abusing conduct. She's been on a weight loss journey for years and years, and she's 600 pounds. So to get like a boost from a fellow idiot is nothing to be proud of. Oh, if you do this, it's harassment. Exactly, Amberlynn. That's so correct. Exactly, Amberlynn. No, Amberlynn, it is not correct. Here is what harassment is. Harassment is repeated contact from one party to another without a lawful purpose after the second party has been informed by the first party that they don't want the contact. So that prevents a man who is an ex-boyfriend from bothering a woman over and over again. He doesn't have the right to do that. Woman says, I don't want to hear from you, and that is it. He's got to stop, or else it's criminal. If it's a bill collector and you owe money, they can phone you. You can't go la 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 la, stop harassing me. What Chantel and Amberlynn do is make a circus of themselves in a sad and regrettable way for money. They're not making the world a better place. They're not providing any creativity that approaches art. It's a shit show. And they do it for money for themselves. They're not trying to help anyone. So to react to it is the role of the critic, which we are allowed to do. And both of these idiots continually misrepresent what the terms of service are. Reaction channels are allowed. So when we react to the material that these idiots have published, and they're only cashing in with it, that's not harassment. We do not approach them at their homes or approach them when they're buying groceries and bother them there. It's not harassment. Neither one of these fools know what they're talking about. They're both stupid idiots. And now we'll get back to World War with Chantal Marie Sorrow.
And like, Amberlynn is another situation that makes you go, what the fuck? Like, how do people even watch these reactions? Like, they're so full of shit.
When you say that somebody is full of shit, that is a big claim to make. So you better make sure that you're strongly in the right when you do it. If we touched upon a quarter of the lies that Chantal has told in the last few years, we'd be here for hours. So that's what it is to be full of shit. It's you're a hypocrite and you tell lies. Let me just touch upon a couple. Chantal lecturing us at length about vegetarianism, and then she gives up on it within 2 days. She eats everything in sight, including dairy products. And now today, when she drives over the little animals with her car and treats them much worse than any farm ever would, she laughs about it because she's evil. And she was saying how she wanted to give her cats away to another home. It'd be better for them. They get so much more love. And then I could do what I wanted. That was back when you thought you were going to move in with Nader. So you tried it out on your audience. And you were hoping they would say, yeah, go do your best thing, Chantal. Leave those cats behind. It'll be better for them. They'll get so much love with a better home. It didn't work. Your audience didn't like it. So you backtracked on it. And your lungs, you say you got pulmonary embolisms. And after you say that, you smoke cigarettes, you smoke weed, and you live with these cats, which fill your place with hair. And you really shouldn't have them anyway. We understand your personality. They're just props for the show. You force those cats to amuse you when you're in the mood for them. Otherwise, you couldn't care less. They're not getting groomed, and we can tell. There's other people that have cats too, and they can tell. So to say that the reaction channels are so full of shit, it is not accurate. You're the one that is full of shit, and we've proven it plenty enough times as it is.
Like, people must just, like, living with blind... Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand the logic of, like, turning on a video like that and being, like... Watching, like, an overweight person react to it, like, be ableist.
Ableist? Really? You're gonna return to that? I was checking Charlie Gold not too long ago, and she said, hey, those of you new to this train wreck should check out the Toad McKinley documentary. And you know what? I hadn't checked it out. You know, because I'd formerly, back in the day, been a bit of a fan of Chantal when she just had a normal mukbang channel and just eat and talk and be a little bit silly, you know? And then gradually she became filthier and filthier, and it's like, well, what is this? Anyway, I went and I checked out the documentary, and it was pretty good. It was quite good. I mean, it's not like a documentary where he interviews people and goes to places and things. It was all based on Chantal's videos and the ones that got picked up by Kiwi Farms. The thing is, I'm raising it because it had footage in there where Chantal compared being overweight to having no legs. This is the type of creature that we're dealing with. She puts herself in the class of folks who, through a birth defect, didn't have their legs, or through illness they lost their legs, or an accident they lost their legs. And she's like, how dare you criticize me? I'm disabled. Don't be ableist against me, Chantal, because it is wrong. There is an enormous difference between not having your legs and being deliberately, willfully overweight. Chantal has referred to Taco Bell as highly addictive. It's not even addictive. You can just find a food that you like, and you really like it a lot, and you give into it a lot. That's not like nicotine or heroin. And she considers herself to be disabled. And if you talk about her weight, by the way, I haven't mentioned her weight with any of this. This is all what she's got to say with the United States of America. if Chantel was stuck out in the woods somewhere, and there was a team leader who said, look, you're going to have a food ration, and you're going to eat this much food for the next 6 months, she would lose all of her weight. And she wouldn't have the hindrance of all that blubber. And her so-called disability would vanish if she just had her food controlled. So to sit there and say, I don't get it. People are attacking people like me and Amber Lynn. They're being ableist against us. No, you are completely wrong. And you're actually exploiting people who have real disabilities too.
Or as another overweight person, or like, what? Like, I don't know how, I don't get that.
Does not compute, eh, Chantel? Well, let me explain it to you again, because you keep returning to it. Both you and Amber Lynn make ridiculous spectacles of yourself on the internet for money. Along the way, you, in particular, tell enormous amounts of lies as you do so. You attack people all the time with lies. You fat shame people yourself. I'm not talking about your fat in this video. Nowhere. It's what you gotta say. You're full of lies and you're full of hate. And you're just an angry toddler. You like to exploit everything and everybody for your own gain is what you do. So, we criticize you for it. I hope you get it now. Either you're too stupid to get it, or you're just smart enough to get it, and you don't like it, so you lie about it and try to paint yourself as the victim. As you often do.
Like, that's another situation that makes me weird out. You know, and I know it's like, well, Valeska, you don't have to listen to me talk.
Even her own fans, which are pretty stupid to begin with, some of them are starting to tell Chantel, shut up. Because to have her talk is just to listen to a stupid Canadian stoner babbling away. And like, I'm past giving a darn about what she do. I'm just here to laugh at it, right? And to react to it. She can blow herself back up to 500 plus pounds again. I don't care. Folks saying, oh, Chantel, get therapy. Chantel, please don't eat. I don't care. Go ahead and do what you want. You're just a joke now.
No country is perfect. No, I'm not, and I'm not like super, I'm not anti-American.
We know that you are anti-American. The way that you deflect is to simply lie. That is why you're doing it on September 12th, 2021, the day after the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on New York City, the World Trade Center. You are lying. You say things that are anti-American, and you say, I'm not anti-American. You tell lies all the time. And you say, I didn't know what I was doing. You're a liar. I mean, creatures such as you just do whatever they want, then they lie afterwards to clean it all up. Of course you're anti-American. You sit right there and you allow Pete to say anti-American things all the time. Why are you choosing to say all this stuff now? The 20th anniversary of September 11th, when you said these things, was just the day before. It's just like your own grandmother. You don't give a shit. Hey, it's just another day at the office. Get on there. Get high on drugs. Talk dirty. Make some money. Are you going to give up on a whole day to make money because of your grandmother? Of course not. You're a piece of shit. And everybody stay with this, okay? She's still going to get a history lesson, and it's still going to be worth it to get to the end of this thing.
And I just find that logic is really messed up. Like, you're going to tell a country, like, you're not the, like...
Here, again, is Chantel Marie from Canada lecturing the folks in the United States of America about how bad she thinks they are. Well, guess what? Let me tell you about the Canadian Indian Residential School System. It existed from 1894 to 1947. It was a partnership between the church and the Canadian government. And basically what it was it was ethnic cleansing. It was a genocide against the Indigenous peoples of Canada. And in this past year, there's a campaign called Every Child Matters, because they're starting to find mass graves of children around these residential schools. It's an embarrassment in front of the whole world. And so Chantal is in no position as a Canadian to lecture anybody from any other country for what they do with their foreign policy or how they act with their military. Okay? You see, Chantal's just opening up one can of worms after another. And she really has no place from which to speak. And please stick with this reaction, because she's still going to get a big history lesson at the end of it. And you're really going to appreciate it when I'm finished with it.
Why are you even invading a country? You're not the manager there. You can't tell. Like,
why do you invade other people's channels and strike channels illegally? You know that you have no right to do so, and you're abusing the copyright system. You know you're not going to bring a lawsuit against anybody. You just do it to steal their own personal information. You know that reaction channels are allowed. They're all over the place. Why do you invade other folks' channels? And why do you keep threatening to do it? What's your fucking problem?
what the fuck? Like, anyway, just like stupid things I think about like that. Like, you know, Sam! Hey, look, he's beezing. Are you beezing? Pee!
This here is what happens when you decide to become a degenerate pothead. Sit around the house all day, don't do anything. Well, that's thanks to the YouTube income she gets from the country she hates, the United States of America, that gives her the opportunity to have all this money. And then it's just, oh look, the cat is on the banister. Pete! Pete! The cat is on the banister! Tough day at the office, huh, Chantal? Yeah.
Stop beezing. Pee! Sam is beezing on the banister. Sorry guys, I have to. Sam is beezing. Oh, he, I think he's down.
So we canceled the red alert then, right? Thanks for the update there, Chantal. Go back to picking at your face.
I wanted him to see him. A country built on lies. Atlanta. Anyways. No, I didn't. Stop watching Fox. Fox? I don't watch Fox. I hate Fox.
The only things that Chantal watches are true crime shows and horror movies all day. Because she's evil, and she enjoys driving over small animals with her car and laughing at it. Same thing, she enjoys watching people jump from a burning building and laughs at them too.
But I'm not trashing America. I'm just saying, do you not find that kind of stupid? Like,
yes, you are trashing America. That's why you decided to mock America on September 11th, the 20th anniversary of, and you told everybody to go have a nice day. And that's why you're following up on what you did here on September 12th. You are trashing America, and just because you say you're not doesn't make it true. You are a despicable creature, and the only thing that I find stupid is you, the creature uttering this garbage.
even if you're super, it's very dangerous. You can be pro-American, you can be the proudest American, you could be patriotic up to the fucking tits.
What you really need to do is to shut up. You really need to fermer la bouche. Stop talking. You're an idiot, you're belligerent, you're evil, mean, stupid, you're a liar, and you don't appreciate anything. Someone once said in the other comments, if you want to know what a malignant narcissist looks like, it's you. And I'm glad I remember that comment. You are a malignant narcissist piece of garbage. And if you do not like the United States of America, and if you do not like the opportunity that the United States of America has provided for you with YouTube, then take yourself off the platform. If you hate the United States of America so much, get off YouTube. Take yourself off of it. Just decide that you don't want to do business with YouTube anymore. You already said that YouTube is supporting bullying by allowing other people to have channels. You referred to YouTube as this friggin' platform when you drove out and had a long pizza rant, which is on my reaction channel called Demon. It's all there. If you don't like it, take yourself off it. Go share the wonder of Chantal with Canada and try to get a job. Hi, I'm Chantel, and I am impossible to work with. I'm an asshole. My hygiene is in the toilet. I don't bathe. I'm despicable. You're worthless garbage, okay? You don't like YouTube? You don't like the United States of America? Take yourself off the platform or fare me the fucking boosh.
But if you don't question things that your leaders are doing, that's not healthy. That's dangerous.
Do not worry, Chantel, or provide advice to Americans about questioning their leaders. They already do a great job of that, as it is. They got freedom of speech there. That's what some of them other countries you're talking about don't have, okay? That's why you shouldn't talk about political matters, really. They also have something else in the United States of America called elections. That allows them to get rid of the guy they don't like. They can organize and say, I don't want him anymore, and that is it. Now, while you say it's very dangerous not to question your leaders, why is it that you feel it's wrong to question Chantal? You place yourself upon the American YouTube platform, and you do things in public which are ridiculous and silly. And when people react to it and express themselves upon what you do, you consider it to be harassment. So let me explain to you what harassment is. It is a continued and unwanted contact from another party after the second party has been informed by the first party they don't want the contact. So if there's an ex-boyfriend bothering some woman, and he's been told to stop it, he's got to stop it because he doesn't have a lawful purpose. Now, if there's a bill collector coming after you, you cannot tell them to go away no matter how much you do not like him, because they got a lot of full purpose and they want to get their money back. See, that's what harassment is. And when people express themselves about what you do, that's just what they're doing. They're expressing themselves about what you do. So please do not lecture anybody about anything. And when speaking about elections, you said these horrible things on September 12th, 2021, to get back on folks who had called you on what you had to say on September 11th, 2021, the 20th anniversary of the attacks. And as you lectured them and told them to question their leaders, after that fact, and later on in the month of September, Canadians had a little election of their own, a federal election, to elect the Prime Minister. And you told everybody that you couldn't be bothered to vote. That is why people react to what you do. It's got nothing to do about your weight. People do not go after with criticism for a hungry fat chick, even though she's as heavy as you are or heavier and eats a whole bunch of food as you do or even more. It's because you go on and lecture folks about questioning your leaders, and then a couple weeks later, you admit you didn't even be bothered to vote in the Canadian election. So that is what makes you very silly.
You know, like, if you agree with, like, every little thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be objective, and you can't just be brainwashed, and, yeah, the nationalism is just crazy.
The nationalism is just crazy for what country, Chantel? That is the United States of America you're talking about on September 12th, 2021. Have the audacity to say the nationalism is just crazy. There's nothing wrong with being patriotic. If you want an example of so-called nationalism that's just crazy, we can just speak about your very important beezers. They're idiots. They're providing you with money for drugs for yourself and for your weird old boyfriend. And I'm only going by what you just said. Like, I'm completing this video. I started it, a couple days after you made these statements. I'm finished at the end of September. And you've admitted again that you and him were buying tons of coke.
You know, and it does brainwash people and prevents people from seeing that. Because even I was like, oh yeah. You know, you think of when America invades a country and nuke bombs them, that it's fucking heroic. But when another country does it, maybe a communist country, a Muslim country, it's, you know, it's, we need to nuke them. Like, your solution is to nuke them because they might have nuclear weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we do know what you're saying. Chantal is an ignorant toddler with a big mouth, and she's saying all these mean things on September 12th, 2021, because she hates the United States of America. We know how she communicates, for lack of a better term, when she's not belching and farting, which is she says mean things, says, oh, I'm sorry. In the same way that, she's always farting on purpose. She has to squeeze them out. It's, oh, excuse me. So you said those things because you meant them. Now, it's easy for me to say that you're an ignorant toddler with a big mouth. Now, you say ridiculous things. If I say you're a blithering idiot, I'm going to have to make my case here. Here's a history lesson. Pearl Harbor. On December 7th, 1941, Japan did a surprise attack on the United States, which was at that time a neutral country and not involved in World War II. Japan did this to prevent the United States from becoming involved in actions they were going to take against territories that were held by the United Kingdom. They want to make sure the United States would not be ready to get in there too. There was no declaration of war made against the United States. 2,403 Americans were killed. And because there was no declaration of war, it was a terrorist attack on the United States. There you are, full of drugs and full of food, all thanks to the United States of America providing an opportunity for you, while you would not be employable anywhere in Canada. And that is what you say about the United States of America, and you mock it on September 12th, 2021. Shame on you, piece of garbage, Chantal. And there's more history coming, too. And before I get to that last part of this history lesson for Chantal, I gotta say that there's gonna be no photographs of any people, okay? There's not even gonna be photographs of animals, okay? No photographs of victims. I don't want to trigger nobody. Yeah, we're gonna get to the nuclear weapons. Again, there's gonna be no photographs of any victims. And it is Chantal that's bringing up all these bad feelings. It is her. And what her channel is, she is not at all advertiser friendly, okay? So let's just get to it. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They took place on August 6th and August 9th, 1945, respectively. And yes, were those targets that had a lot of civilians in them? Yes. They also, if you read your history, had militarily significant facilities in them as well. So this is what Chantal doesn't understand. She doesn't understand war. Like, I'm finishing this up on September 30th, 2021. And Chantal just did a live with which she said she's going to strike everybody's channels, right? So that's her understanding, right? She doesn't get her way. She doesn't want to communicate with other parties and say, is there some way we can have an agreement? She doesn't want to change her behavior. Her attitude is just strike everybody, right? Because she's posted a text message from her to Natter, and she says, you hurt BBJ the cat. And now she's saying, oh, it didn't happen. I was just mad. And now if you don't like her, she's going to strike all your channels. So, okay, enough about her. She has the mind of a toddler. She doesn't understand war. Yeah, it's a tragedy that so many civilians got hit. Just remember, they also had, in those cities, militarily significant facilities. And it was meant to bring about the end of World War II. And Japan did not surrender after the first bomb was applied. Okay? So, these are all bad feelings. All people get sad talking about this. Just stick with me for a couple more minutes. Here's the part. If you stay with this reaction all the way through, here's the best last part. Chantel's Canadian, and she's telling off the United States of America. The project which brought about the nuclear weapons was called the Manhattan Project, and it was a research and development undertaken during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons. It was led by the United States with the support of the United Kingdom and Canada. There it is. So Canada had a hand in getting that project done and getting those bombs dropped on Japan and killing all those people and creating all that suffering. Canada, yes, Chantel, had a hand in it. And that is the end of the reaction. Chantel is so stupid. She needs to just stop talking. Just do your drugs, Chantel. Eat your nashies and be quiet and tell your dirty stories on OnlyFans. What you're gonna do? That's it. Canada had their hand in it too. So Chantel has no place from which to point finger at the United States of America. Now we're just gonna let her finish this thing off and say a couple more stupid things.
It's just stupid. I don't know. It's not even about politics for me. It's just like stupidity. That's all it is. Sam! I didn't throw up my McFlurry sauces yet. No, Sam! Yes, Muse, I agree. Yeah, I am high.
Be proud of yourself, Chantel. At the age of 37, you're the coolest 14-year-old at school. So you want to strike channels? And you say the solution is, if you don't like what Chantel do, then just stop watching. Well, that is not how freedom of speech works, Chantel. If you want to make a fool of yourself in public, and you want to insult people and countries too, then you could expect to get some criticism. So if you don't like the criticism, then may I suggest you get off the drugs and get a real fucking job and keep yourself off any sort of public platform. That is what you need to do.
It's called cannabis. It's legal in Canada. What's the difference having some of an edible versus a glass of wine?
Thanks for asking, clown toddler. The difference between a glass of wine is that a glass of wine is a refined item. The glass and the wine itself, it's meant to be taken with a proper meal. That's how you appreciate it. What you do is just load up on this distilled THC garbage in your edibles, or you make a messy joint and smoke that and just get wrecked, and then you babble. That's the difference, you drug stoner loser.
Get out of here with your cannabis shaming bullshit.
How about you get out of here with your United States of America shaming bullshit? Because you really have bullshit. We've explained that now. That you don't understand that there are differences between a bad country such as Iraq, and, you wouldn't last, 2 seconds there with your lifestyle of drugs and refusing to work. That's the difference between the United States of America and places like that. You don't understand what happened with the bombings of Japan. And I've just told you, while you were pointing the finger at the United States of America, that Canada had a hand in that too. You don't understand anything. You need to just shut up and take your anti-American stuff off the platform, because it's an American platform.
This sucks. Well, if you have something else you want to do, raspberry soup, then.
So what if Raspberry Soup wanted to go make a reaction to what you just did? Huh? Oh, well, I guess she can't go ahead and do something else because Chantel will strike the channel. No one may criticize Chantel. How about, you go and get a job, Chantel? Why don't you get off the YouTube and the United States of America platform and go get yourself a job? How about you do that? Oh, and then no one may criticize Chantal. The toddler Chantal will not tolerate any criticism.
Oh, God. Go away, thick radish. Seriously.
The words honestly and seriously really should not be available for use by you, Chantel, because you are a ridiculous liar. So, seriously, you need to go away. You said everything you need to say on YouTube, okay? You're just a sloth drug addict that lies for like 5 hours every day. Nobody needs you anymore. And if you don't like criticism, just take yourself off the platform. Just take yourself off the platform.
Sam's meow is so cute, I know.
Do you know what is not cute? You going and and every 2 minutes. That is not cute. So why don't you just take it off the platform? Nobody needs it. I'm just letting you know with my reaction and my freedom of speech. You got a problem with it? You want to strike a channel? I'm going to publish this on September 30th, 2021. The same day that you said earlier in this day that you're going to strike the channels. Go ahead, strike mine. Find out what happens. I'm going to have paperwork served at your door with a lawful purpose to do so. If you put an unlawful finger on my channel and I counterclaim and you don't file a lawsuit, I'll march you in and out of court on video. Go ahead. Try it.
Yeah, you know what? I have to set up memberships for sure. I'm going to be doing a lot of members-only live streams. Well, that's why some lives say no politics talks. Yeah!
We can expect that Chantel would raise politics in a live stream on what used to be a mukbang and makeup channel, and now it's just a drug addict lying channel. She has the mind of a toddler, and she's only finding this out now at the age of 37. Like, yeah, I guess politics, really, it gets people arguing with each other and drives them apart, too. Really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, duh.
I know. I need to, like, organize my streams better. Hi, Kenneth Budgets! Ooh, fancy. Do memberships or Patreon?
Do you know what she's reading right there and why she's starting to look angry? It is because somebody is saying, hey, Canada and the United States are neighbors, they're friends. You're not supposed to be ripping on your friends. And she's going to say, it doesn't matter, neighbors are not. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Well, Chantel, you're not right. You're wrong.
Because Billy Finley, it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. If they're wrong, right? You know, so
with you hating the United States of America, why not get off the United States of America platform, YouTube? Go get a job in Canada. Say, hey everybody, I'm Chantel. I can't get up on time. I can't complete a day of work. I can't take any criticism. Here I am. Give me money. Oh, what's the matter, Chantel? Nobody making you that offer? Oh, the United States of America is pretty good, huh? Gives you lots of money, lots of food, a place of your own, a car, insurance, everything. Maybe you better think twice on that.
I need to be a member ASAP. Yeah, I'll make the streams worth your while.
Please remember that she said this on September 12th, 2021, and later in the same month, after having said that, the streams will be worth your while if you join and pay. She included one such stream where she started, was on for a couple minutes, then she got up out of her chair and left to go take an enormous shit. And she left the chair empty for like 15 minutes. Oh, I'll make them worth your while. Worth the money with Chantel, really? Get out of here.
You know, like, they'll be super fun, and I'm gonna make them, like, you know, I'm sure they'll get leaked. That's gonna be another life project of these people. Let's leak it.
So what is your life project besides eating THC candy all day long and smoking joints? Striking channels? Remember, we are in Ontario. You strike mine and you don't actually file a lawsuit. We know you won't. You abuse my channel, you cause me monetary damages, I'll be at your door with a lawsuit. And you will be marched in and out of court. It's not like striking somebody from another country, okay? I'm here. I'm close. We done. This has been an hour and 1 minute. And Chantel, if you don't like the United States of America, go get off YouTube and go get yourself a real job. Go offer what Chantel has to bring to the table and see who pays for it. She has more than 88,000 subscribers. If you like what I do, then please subscribe to the channel. Because every piece of junk she makes is picked up by the algorithm and promoted. So if you want to help, please, bottom right hand corner, hit Chantel's Angry Mug, go down a little bit more, hit the subscribe button. Either one of those buttons will work. You don't have to hit the notification bell if you don't want to. Please!